Well, good evening everybody, and my name is Tricky here, and I thought I'd, well, come back to you with a vlog, I think. Yes, why not? No, I thought I'd talk about Asperger's, or Asperger's I think it's actually called. Sort of, in short, devoid of, well, emotions I guess, except, I guess hate is pretty strong, don't know why, and I'll tell you what it is, it's fucking annoying, excuse the F word, and I thought I might look it up in Wikipedia and just read about it, and hopefully that might explain why my chair's squeaking, and why I do the things I do, and just to make people understand what the hell it is. So come with me now on a journey through time and space. Didn't steal that from Mighty Boosh. That's a lie, of course it is. So, join me now. So, I found the article in Wikipedia as Asperger Syndrome. There's a lot of things here about it. But in short, this picture on the far right here, and the caption underneath vaguely explains it. So, restricted interests or repetitive behaviours. So, oh gosh, okay, so there's an example there. So that's a molecular structure there, and this kid is using it as a toy. So I guess an example for his behaviour is he will take it apart and he will restructure it either in the same way as before, or perhaps a different way, and then the same way again, over and over again, but he would keep coming back to this same item, because this item may be paramount in his life. And for me, it's very, very difficult. I think, you know, we didn't even know about this until, I'd say, recently when I was in college, first time studying hospitality for 2 years, and it was paramount in that time that something was not right, and maybe should have been spotted at a very young age, but I guess at that age perhaps nobody knew about it, or at least not as much as they do now, if you see what I mean. Which is why I'm a bit like Eddie Izzard. I sort of go off on tangents and talk about something else, and then, you know, eventually come back to the main subject in question. I'm even doing it now, and then I forget what I've actually been talking about. So yes, I think, you know, I felt, you know, sort of very high and very low in college, and I don't think it had anything to do with the work aspect. You know, it was just assignments that you were given, different grade levels, that sort of thing, and I don't think, you know, I didn't find that hard. I mean, I had help with that, so that was fine, but you know, I went to see a nurse, and it was originally going to be on a different sort of issue, but she could see that there was something more, and I couldn't, if you see what I mean. Anyway, one thing led to another, and then my parents took me to see a specialist, to which we paid, I say we, no food. I just remember a grand standing out in my mind. And this grand allowed us to find out that the doctor we saw, he showed us to a whiteboard. He drew 2 very large circles, or boobs, I guess, and then 2 other little circles, and apparently I fell into one of these orifices, for want of a better word, and it was something like the left hand side was which side now. The left-hand side, I think, was social, and the right-hand side was creative. And whichever side you fell in, you were most strong in. And I fell into the creative side more so. So that explains why my social behaviour is sort of erratic. I tend not to interact as much. Although, having said that, starting this YouTube channel and where I am now to before I started it, I am actually conversing with people that I wouldn't normally converse with. And in certain respects I may choose not to interact, which is fine. I tend to listen, really. And of course, if you don't have anything to say, you know, just listen and shut up, basically. And I'm having a beer as well, just to clarify that. Not branded. So, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that falls into seeing this kid going back to this toy, because he's creative. He makes something out of it. He makes use out of it. And I think YouTube is, or has been now up to this point, a very, very good, I say saving grace. No, it's been very good for me. I think it's certainly been noticeable from others, not just work, but you know, the locality where I am, and indeed, you know, family and friends afar as well. I've certainly noticed, and I've noticed as well, because hey, look at me, I'm talking to myself. I do that anyway, because you know, my social anxiety from Asperger's, you know, doesn't really allow me to interact that very well. And indeed, I mean, gosh, I don't want to read all of this, but maybe I should have done before the video. Not required for diagnosis, although the doctor we saw said, yeah, there's definitely signs. Causes unknown, partially inherited, so I don't know if there's anybody in my family who's had it before. I really don't know. I mean, my parents are very social, I guess. But here, no treatment. Effectiveness of particular interventions is supported only by limited data. Whatever the hell that means. So I guess treatment here is saying, you know, give that person skills in communication, and you know, notice their routines. That's something I've noticed as well, and that's something that I'm doing. And I've heard people sort of make comments that I'm very sort of militaristic, and that's something I will do when I go to work. You know, you get veterans who have been out on tours in Afghanistan or wherever, and they're always told to check their points. So all exit points, making sure they're clear. That's what I do when I get to work. I make sure the back door to the garage is clear. I make sure, if I can't see it from where I am, from where I work, but I will walk out and I will look and make sure that exit's clear into the hallway where the change rooms are and the staff unit is. And then there are two further doors that lead into the restaurant, so I always look to see who's going in, who's going out, and it's, my eyes are just going like this. I poke myself in the eye. I'm constantly focused, and that's what I do, and I'm quick at what I do as well. And because it's repetitive, it's easy for me to do. Pardon me. So, I mean, what I do is my real job is, you know, I'm a KP, or what does my dad call it? He calls it something ridiculously posh. Ceramics operator, or ceramics operations. yeah, it's a smashing time. Very good. And you know, I'm quick at loading the plates in the trays and moving them in the machine. And if I'm working with someone who is not at my level, in my head I get frustrated, but I try not to let it, you know, flow out into work. But I'm just quick, very quick. It's like moving at a billion miles an hour up there, and you know, I can't slow down. I come from a line of workers in the family anyway, so there's a thing. I mean, what else we got here? Yeah, physical clumsiness. And I will tell you now, people have been wondering why I don't drive. That's exactly this here. Physical clumsiness, that is one reason why. And there's 3 other reasons why that maybe people know about or don't know about, that I failed my driving test 3 times. The second time was a lot better. I think I was 2 marks off passing. But actually the third test had a new instructor, and he changed his car on the day of the test, so that was slightly unfair, so I think he done me well in there. So that's one reason why I don't drive. The other reason is, and I worked with somebody called Lee at a little cafe in Salcombe called Venus Cafe, and Neville as well. Neville was grand. He's a good chef. In fact, they both are, really. And she was a good manager, very, very spot on, very acute to everything. And I had a small accident. I was stacking up sort of what we call like pasty plates, and they were like sort of, you know, these cardboard things, thin jobs like this. So I stacked them up like this, and I must have got distracted somewhere. Somebody must have been waiting, and I needed to go and do an order. And I still had these things in my hand, and as I was sort of trying to put them down, I was looking over here like this, not focusing what I'm doing over here, and the whole stack just goes on the floor. And she said, "I hope you never drive because you're very clumsy." That was a telltale sign that this could have been apparent. And you know, it could have been found a lot earlier in life, and my parents had just been telling me that I missed something in school, and they kept pulling me out of schools. I must have moved to about 6 different schools because they pulled me out, because apparently there were problems and I was missing something. So that missing something was this, I believe anyway. I'm not saying that's an excuse of why they did what they did, but you know, that could have been a thing. And if this was found a lot earlier, you know, these, you know, treatments here could have been, you know, sought upon. But no, okay. I mean, I don't blame them. Oh yes, I do. No, I don't. That's silly. Otherwise I wouldn't be here, would I? So there we are. And if look at this. I mean, in 2005, Asperger's was estimated to affect 37.2 million people globally. To think there are over 7 billion people in the world, possibly nearly, I don't know, going on 8. I could be wrong. Oh, it's not even half, is it? Is that half? No, it's not. It's not half at all, really. But there we go. I mean, there's not much more I can say about it. Social interactions problems, restricted and repetitive behaviour, usual before 2 years old. I guess maybe in his case it was found at that age. Speech therapy, parent training, well, I was a bit late for that. But let me have a look at social interaction here. I'm getting on a bit now, but this is very important for people to read. Right, let me just pause for a minute and have a read. No, that hasn't paused. So this is exactly the issue, or not issues, I guess they are issues, because I'm focusing on sort of repetitive behaviour, and because that happens, this first bit here, in fact, where are we? All of this here is extremely important. So I'll read this out now. So individuals with AS experience difficulties in basic elements of social interaction. But I'm trying my best, and it's difficult because people don't know how to treat me or react to how I react to a certain situation. They don't know what to say. Social interaction, which may include a failure to develop friendships or to seek shared enjoyments or achievements with others, for example, showing others objects of interest. So, shared enjoyments. So it's asking questions like, the simple questions like, hello, how are you, and that sort of thing. I have to force myself to say it, whereas others will say it naturally. Enjoyments. Again, it's hard there. I mean, there are one or two work that I do share enjoyments with, like, or hobbies, for example, like pool and darts. But it's a question of interacting with those people and playing pool with a person who likes that same interest, because I normally play on my own. Well, why not? I mean, that's it. That's all I do. And that's repetitive, you see. But there we are. So achievements. A lack of social or emotional reciprocity. I think that's... oh, whatever the hell that says. So it's like... that's why I play poker, or used to play poker, because somebody said, and this is where my channel name comes from, somebody said, we can't read you because your face is literally blank. And I'm there with cards in my hand. It's like, wow, there's like a set of threes now. I've got 3 in hand and an ace, for example, off-suited. A couple of threes that come up on the flop, and it's like amazing. And I've got a blank face, like nothing's happened. And I miss playing poker, and that's on Tuesday nights. Of course, I can't go all the way to Mac, where it is, without guaranteeing myself that I've got to come away with something, because it costs money in taxi, costs money in bus fares, costs money in train fares, and then it's getting back here. And then I work the following morning, which is Wednesday morning. So I can't, I can't go because I have to guarantee myself I'm going to win. And I have one big in Mac. There was a Christmas special poker event, well, not event, but evening. I didn't realise how big the buy-in was. It was 20 quid, normally it's 10. And ended up coming first, so I think I won something like 232 quid or something like that. And I could see the locality who live within Mac or around the surrounding area. There's Badger, or Paul we call him, he was counting out the notes. It's like, fuck this shit. Who's this guy think he is, man? He's won like 235 quid. And I was like, yeah, okay. There's a chap called Toes who plays rugby, and then he arrived late, you see, so everyone's saying, oh, you arrived late and you won second. So there we go. And it says here, look, social games, give and take mechanic. That's exactly what that is. Paired non-verbal behaviours in areas such as eye contact, facial expression, posture and gesture. Those are absolutely apparent if you want to play poker. So anybody with Asperger's, bloody hell, you must be millionaires. Or more. Take Gary Newman, for example. I've got his music playing in the background. I think it's probably stopped. Let's have a look. Yep, it stopped. So I've got it rolling again. And I don't mind playing his music in the background. He also has Asperger's, and he doesn't, he thinks it's an advantage. And I was looking at an interview just now, and he said anybody who doesn't have Asperger's, you're missing out. There's probably got a point there, you see. So yeah, and then this first sentence here, just to finish off. People with Asperger syndrome can display behaviour, interests and activities that are restricted and repetitive and are sometimes abnormally intense or focused. So going back to the washing up, I am extremely focused on the job, and in fact it's the same on toast duties as well, because I cut the toast and put it in the racks and off it goes. You know, the excitement just built up because, you know, I enjoy the job. But I've been there 3 years now, and I'm thinking I'm coming to a stage where my YouTube channel, because of the algorithm changes, and I think YouTube are making it now fairer for smaller YouTubers to make money now. I'm nearly at 10,000 views, so my channel will be in review. In fact, it is in review now. But thereafter 10,000, it's 30 days of review to make sure my channel meets their guidelines and whatnot. If that then comes back as true, then I think hopefully then I'll be able to remonetize all my videos, and then hopefully I'll be able to make a bit of money. I mean, I've got 500 plus videos, nearly 600 videos. That's a lot of hours work put into my channel, a lot of effort, and that's where this focus comes in. And there we go. I mean, speech and language is another thing as well. That's what somebody said to me. Having Asperger's is like being constantly pissed. Not because I've had a beard now, but it's because in general, it's because you're clumsy. You're walking around people, you're walking into people, and you don't mean to do that. You just sort of focused on things around you and trying to get on with it, and that's it. And language has always been like an issue. It always sounds as if I'm pissed anyway. So, I mean, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Something like this, stacking. I mean, I'll even do it on a shop floor. If something hasn't been pulled forwards, and there's a gap, I'll look at it and my mind will just think, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm going to have to move that forwards. And I do it, I move one forwards, and then it's fine. I think maybe one or two people notice that. But anyway, I digress. I think that's probably going to be it for this one. Causes, I mean, there's loads here. I mean, if you want me to go back and, you know, have another look at this particular article and do a second part on this, then please leave a comment below, but do subscribe as always to the channel. I hope this helps anybody out there with this syndrome. It is not a disease, it's just a characterization of who you are. It's in your nature. There are plenty of, you know, curriculum treatments out there. Curriculum? I don't think that's a word. Curriculum treatments. There we are. Out there that can be undertaken to improve social anxiety. Not improve social anxiety, but to improve social patterns and behaviours all around other people. That's why it's so damn quiet when I work. Or I at work. There we go. So I think that's probably it. But yeah, if you want me to do another you know, second hit at this, I've got the article here, so I can go back to this whenever. But if you enjoy this video, if this video helps you out there, if you're Asperger yourself, it's not suffering, but if you have the syndrome itself, no, it's not a disease. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know some of your situations that, you know, some of what I've covered, you know, is an example of your life. there we go. I think I'm going to end it there. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. As always, again, do subscribe, like the video, share the video, especially this one. Let the world know this is not a disease. This is something we're born with, and it's bloody marvellous if it's discovered early rather than late. But anyway, so there we go. So I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheerio.